like, I don't think it's not a good deterrent.
All right, so let's get to the first story. President Trump wants to defund the World Health Organization. I don't want to say that this show influences heads of state, but we were kind of early on the China thing and World Health Organization, and then you see it kind of, it was sort of parroted on Fox News from people who were not talking about that even beforehand, and then Donald Trump's like, you know what? I think we should look into the Who's. No more Dahoo-doing for those sons of bitches. I'm not even going to leave a crumb that's too small for a mouse. That's a Grinch reference. So let's watch us go to the clip for people who missed it that he is going to defund the World Health Organization. I love it.
Today I'm instructing my administration to halt funding of the World Health Organization while a review is conducted to assess the World Health Organization's
A review of the world
covering up the spread of the coronavirus. Everybody knows what's going on there.
I think the delay.
Everybody knows what's going on there.
China.
They told me not to say Chinese virus. Oh my!
I didn't say it.
It must have slipped. Whoa, whoa! I'm so slippery.
Yeah, we were half a second away from that happening. I swear.
We're going to review the world. I wanted to review the galaxy, but the Milky Way wouldn't take part in the census.
So a couple of things. That was something that I love about. We absolutely should.
That's awesome.
By the way, and let me be really clear as to why before I get into some of the fallout, which is just delightful.
It really is.
I don't want to say the press is not the enemy of the American people. That's what Stalin said. People try to attribute this quote to Donald Trump. The press. I think he said that now since I defended him, which kind of, hung me out to dry.
Yeah.
But
not cool.
Shouldn't have said it if he said it.
Communists are the enemy of the American people. Does that sound like McCarthyism? I'm fine with it. By the way, he was right about a lot of stuff.
He was a good guy.
He wasn't totally wrong, okay? Communism is the enemy of the American people. And communist sympathizers are the enemy of the American people. That means the World Health Organization. And that means the media who carries their water. If you are a member of the media and you are excoriating our president at this point for simply saying that we should defund the World Health Organization, you're a communist sympathizer. There is Team America and there is Team Communists who don't even acknowledge that Taiwan exists. So when given the option of funding communist propaganda or not, usually I choose to not.
Yes, well, as well you should. And forgive us for looking at history and saying, well, look, this is a failed ideology that leads to millions of its citizens being killed and oppressed and typically ends very poorly in World War. So we'll not go down that road if you guys can just report the news.
It just
That'd
happened
be
a couple times.
Yeah, just a couple of times. And in the realm of American history.
Every single time it happens.
I mean, it happened 30 years ago?
Yeah.
World War II?
It's not like we...
Give or take.
Give or
another 40.
Rounding.
But in the realm of history, we look back at you look back at the Romans and the Ottomans.
Basically a blink.
You're talking about a very large gap compared to how long it's been since our last World War.
That's
not
true.
that long.
No.
Do you know when World War II was there, Brennan?
The 40s.
Hey, there you go.
You got it about right.
Pretty close.
So, of course, you have the leftist politicians. They've been completely outraged and going to bat for the World Health Organization. None other than Jim Acosta. Love it.
We can always count on him.
Who took it so far to say that Donald Trump unfairly blamed the World Health Organization in China. Now, the operative word there is unfairly.
Right.
Because it would be unfair if President Trump blamed the World Health Organization in China and they had nothing to do with it.
Right. Yeah.
Like if
they were completely innocent, that would be
if it were the Italian flu.
Yes.
Right? If it were the Luxembourg sniffles.
Right.
Yeah. You'd be like, that's a valid point.
It's never happened.
But it did come from China. China lied about it. And the World Health Organization said, well don't worry. We'll help.
We like you. Thank you very much. And we'll help carry your
water.
And
so, kind of like me with this morning show here.
Right.
Is he alive? Is he still alive?
I don't know if he can breathe through that mask, actually.
Can you breathe? Do you need to pull it down?
But I don't
Do you need to pull down the mask?
It's loose.
Hey, don't touch the mask.
Yeah, don't.
You ruined it.
Jeez. Trying to take down the mask and he hits the microphone like a Jerry Lewis spit. Oh, the mask! Hey, ladies!
Somebody give this guy a phone.
And here's something, we've talked about this quite a bit. If it existed in a vacuum, the World Health Organization, right? If it just existed as though, oh, they kind of suck, they said some crappy things.
Right.
No, it doesn't. Context matters. Taiwan warned the World Health Organization of the dangers of human-to-human transmission in December. And they ignored.
Seems like that information would have been helpful.
It seems like it would have been helpful.
Seems like.
They not only ignored them, and then they denied
wrong.
the claim. They denied the claim, saying that they said that Taiwan never did that. And then Taiwan said, oh, good thing I have receipts. And they brought this up. They released the emails.
Yeah.
So I think we have that as an overlay. They
receipts.
released the emails. This has nothing to do with it. This is
That's not- yeah.
This is my live read for beds. Promo code.
Glad you wrote that down.
8Zs. Now, is that a
tough one to
transgender
remember.
on CNN right now? That's the problem with the
hard to
whole
know.
LGBTQAIP movement. I never give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Wait
can't
for the
anymore.
voice. Wait for the voice.
If there's an
Why
above
don't we
average
know
amount of
if
makeup,
with
I
this
assume it's a guy.
particular
Yeah.
virus that gives you immunity
That would be myself,
from
but I am a
another
guy.
infection.
So conventional wisdom.
No,
Just
no,
like
it's
one
fine.
woman.
No, it was a little bit of mic feedback,
Yeah.
which
It's
could be
hard to tell.
confused as, Adam's apple reverberation.
Right.
Do you like surprises?
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't.
Not in my morning news.
Never.
And yeah, go ahead.
One of the things about this is that Donald Trump, we can say what we want to say. He didn't just defund the WHO. He basically said, we're going to stop all funding to do a review.
Right.
Which he could still end up going back and saying, all right, we'll fund them. I doubt that'll happen. This is the first step towards defunding them. But that's a reasonable thing to do, to say,
Sure.
whoa. There's all this evidence that these guys were bad actors in this and they should have done their job better. We're not going to fund them until we figure that out.
Yeah.
Why is that controversial?
And it's entirely accurate because the Chinese can't act.
They're very
bad
bad
actors.
actors,
They're
like I
awful
said.
actors.
Jackie Chan was their best one.
He was their best
And he's
one.
not even that good.
That's their MVP.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're going to say that's racist. Sure. So I don't. Yeah,
Or
it is
culturalist,
amazing that
you get racist.
Asians are really bad actors.
Yeah.
I think when you saw Kim Jong Il die, that entire nation deserved a Razzie.
Yeah, and that's certainly not
it wasn't
what I
like,
meant.
It wasn't like, oh, shed a tear, like the Native American because a little bit of trash by the roadside, like,
Right, yeah.
Who will kill our pregnant women now?
Oh, yeah. That's tough to find that job. Hard
Yeah.
to fill.
Yeah.
Hard to
I don't know
follow
how
up.
much of it is they were indoctrinated, how much of it, like, they bought the propaganda.
Sure.
But it's
They'll
so
be
tough to know because they're
killed.
so bad at the art of acting.
They'll be killed. That's the whole thing.
Can you think of any good Asian actors, Brendan?
I guess Jet Li is in.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Expendables.
Yeah, he did
Jet
some
Li
great. He
is
did some
in
great work with
Expendables.
DM and or X.
Yes.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
X.
Yeah. This is amazing to me. It was an experiment. Failure. And here's the good thing: there's a new poll out too, because the media they've just been torching, obviously, any of their credibility, and that's important to note. Remember right now, because I guarantee you, 4, 5, 6 months from now, stories are going to come out about the World Health Organization corruption, where everyone else is going to acknowledge it, just like. After the story, Donald Trump didn't want to send ventilators. They didn't need 40,000 ventilators. No place on Earth at this point. Well, I don't know about other. No place in the United States, I should say.
I don't think
needed 40,000 ventilators. New York City topped out at 4,000. Okay,
4,000.
So they covered it, saying Donald Trump doesn't care about states, doesn't care about people dying. He's not sending out ventilators. And now what do? They just move on when it turns out they don't need the ventilators. This is what they'll do. Right now, they defend the World Health Organization. Why? Because they hate Donald Trump. That they can't help themselves. It's like, well, hold on a second. You do know that the World Health Organization, like they're parroting communist propaganda points, and they refuse to acknowledge Taiwan. It's like, no, I know. I side with them because you don't, Donald Trump. I can't help it. There's nothing. There's nothing I could do. He said they don't. He said he didn't like them. I have to defend them. Which Donald Trump just go out and say, I don't like Hitler, and just watch them tear themselves apart limb from limb.